This story was tagged to me on Twitter, and I said I need to speak on this because this is very interesting. And I wish if I was near this woman, I would ask her a whole bunch of questions. But this woman's name is Earnestine Williams, and she's 103 years old. She was born in 1917. And she's basically giving her account of what it was like to live through the Spanish flu pandemic and what her life is like right now that she's going through another pandemic. And she's from Syracuse, New York. Ernestine Williams, as a baby, lived through the Spanish flu of 1918, one of the world's most deadliest pandemics that killed 50 million. Now at 103, she's living through the Wuhan pandemic. So far, Williams finds the virus more of an annoyance. It's a bad virus, isn't it? The Syracuse woman said Wednesday while sitting in her living room. I ain't talked about it. I listen to other people talk. I'm hoping God will stop it. That's the only person that's going to stop it. Williams said the pandemic has kept her away from the three of her favorite activities: her volunteer work, church, and bingo. If it weren't for this pandemic, she'd be getting out almost every day, said Elder Reginald K. Williams, an assistant pastor at Heavenly Vision Apostolic Church and one of Ernestine's 29 grandchildren. For the past 40 years, Earnestine Williams has served as a volunteer senior companion through the State of Office for Persons with Developmental Disabilities. She is the longest tenured senior companion in the state, according to the state agency. Until the pandemic hit, she was visiting clients 4 days a week, sitting with them and helping to feed them. Williams was the subject of a shout out by Onondaga County Executive Ryan McMahon last weekend during his daily virus briefing. I've got to talk about Miss Earnestine Williams, one of our community's most vibrant members, McMahon said. Miss Earnestine is 103 years of age today. She was still working as a support caregiver for the disabled until the pandemic arrived. We had to put her out of work for a little bit. She's too important to the community. We couldn't put her at risk. On her birthday last Sunday, Williams was treated to a stream of drive-by well wishes from friends and family. Ernestine was born April 19, 1917 in Valdosta, Georgia. She worked on produce farms in and around Sanford, Florida for years while raising 11 children with her husband, Lonza Williams, who passed away in the 1990s. I had to work in the celery fields cutting celery. She recalled of harvesting celery and crops such as beans and cabbage. I walked behind a mule train, stooped down and cut the celery and put it on the cart. I worked every day, she said. Come home and get the wash pot in the tub to do wash. You didn't have machines. You had to do it on your own with your arms. After the family moved to Syracuse in 1980, Ernestine worked on an assembly line at the former Sirocco company downtown. After that, she volunteered almost daily to help the disabled. She taught us by example, said her grandson. She's that inspiration to us to keep us going and to serve and help others. Ernestine talked this week about one of her favorite clients, a woman named Annabelle. I sit there with her. I sing to her. As long as I'm singing, she looks at me. I like it because those people don't have anybody to come see them like we do. So we're a lot of company to them. When things are safe, Ernestine plans to return to her volunteer work. As long as you're able to, why not go? She asks. Interesting little story there. And it's, I noticed that they didn't really focus too much on her living through the pandemic, but they were more talking about her life and what she's doing right now. And it's amazing that this woman, even at 103, is still very active in her community. And she's pretty much saying that the pandemic, that this virus is pretty much keeping her from doing some of the things that she loves. But the people there felt it was essential that she does not work because of her age. So I can definitely understand why they decided to not have her work. So I actually applaud them for doing that. They were just looking out for her well-being. But this is a very interesting story right here. So she was just very young when this happened, and now she's living through another one. To be honest, with her age, she's already seen plenty. She's seen a lot. She's lived through a whole century. So she's learned and heard and seen a lot of things. But that's really all I have to say about this particular story right here. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Twitter if you haven't done so already. Have your notifications turned on, and I'll talk to you in the next one.